We can hide the draft, as we already know what has been decided. Okay, that's a big beefy top lane going on up there. Braum is always so positive. The Melio ban. All right, the teams are locked in, ready to butt heads. We are going to have a little bit of a delay before the game gets started. Noxus versus Noxus. But don't blame them for the cat ban. All right, I'm just going to pop us over onto this little screen so you guys can get some nice little details. See what the colleges are, their logos. You can see my name. Ram and his poros are always happy. That's right. That's right. You know what? I'm actually going to come back over here and I'm going to ask, based on these teams, I I would have to say, just based on the characters, I think that the early game is going to go pretty heavily into Baylor's favor, if I were to make a guess, because all five of those champions, except maybe Sona, have really strong early game potential. They do a lot of damage, they can farm very easily, they have a lot of burst, and Echo has good escapes. And I feel like the late game, they scale really hard over on Post's side between Sion becoming an unstoppable tanky monster and Viego just life stealing from everything and anything in sight. What do you think, chat? You wish you would have been able to join to play League, but the whole thing started close to your senior year. Hmm, that is that is unfortunate. But you could still play and help the team practice, I imagine. Okay. We are loading in and getting ready to lock horns. So, we have in the top lane, Mink versus Kel. In the jungle, Toxie is going to be battling it out with Dissident. In the mid lane, Cold Soup is taking on Drewskii. And in the bot lane, the duo of Vern and Vita versus Neon and Chixxa. Oh no, we had a crash. League of Legends, why? Absolutely. I think the range of Kate and Sona is going to be the hurdle to get over for post spot lane. Oh, we're getting in. Hmm.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Ah, there we go.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Hmm. Strange. All right. Well, it looks like Post is lining themselves up all around, getting some early wards to get some vision.
Minions have spawned.
Cold Soup has spotted that ward though and has called it out to her team. Scion stalking the bush. Toxie and Vita getting ready to take that camp. But Vern is sitting in lane. we're getting started. Oh, Mink went for the early surprise to get some good damage on him, on Kel. Gets that full bleed, taking the level 1, uses Ghost, gets the slow, stacks up the bleeds, and that is a first blood for Mink with the Darius. What an early, well-executed play. Kel was unfortunately not able to get away from that with all that movement speed reduction. We have a lot of good poke going on in the mid lane between Drewskii and iCold Soup, mostly in the favor of Drewskii. Really taking advantage of that range that Aurora has. Kel trying to come back into lane and get caught up after that first little incident, but he gets grabbed and he's getting bled and slowed again. Stacked up with the full stacks and just taking the punishment from the Darius. Such a strong early game champion. Aurora making masterful use of that range as well. Once again, even able to dodge the orb from Ahri. Chixxa taking the opportunity to get a few little pokes on that bot turret. Every little bit counts. A well-executed movement to the double camp for Toxi. In the jungle, Toxi and Dissident are neck and neck just now. Oh! They went in for that early damage. Dissident getting chased down by Toxi right now. He's stuck in there. Can he flash and get over? And Toxi followed him with the auto. That was really, really unfortunate for Dissident, but very well done for Toxi. It does appear that they changed the Dragon and Void Grub timers. Chixxa and Neotoxin are both looking a little bit low on mana, a little worse for wear on health, but that's to be expected when you have a healer on the other lane. Toxi setting up for a lane gank, trying to come in and really set some damage on Sion. Darius going in and getting another kill, but the tower taking down Toxi. Thankfully for them, it was a matter of getting out with an execution rather than a kill. And Manx managed to kill the Reborn Scion to take an, get away from it. He is really asserting his dominance here against Kel in the top lane. Good max range poke from Caitlyn. Viego's coming in. Dissident is jumping on Vern. Misfortune trying to weave around the traps. Unfortunately, Chixxa was so far away, but they managed to get her with the poke and the fire. Giving Dissident the first kill for their team. A good start for the Viego, because you want him to be strong. Oop. Mink going in once again on Kel, really just not letting him get any farm. Kel taking the time that Mink isn't in lane to really try and get those numbers up for his CES. One ward down to be replaced by another. The never-ending battle for vision in the bot lane. It's impressive to see how Toxie is utilizing Echo's abilities to really like draw the camps around and to kill them even while he's already on the move. It looks like Toxie is starting to take the Void Grubs, trying to set up their team for an early advantage. Taking all three of them, I believe. Calling for the ping to take on Aurora. She goes into the stealth. Drewskii able to really get some poke on, and Dissident in there to back up with the counter gank, and now they are trapped in the Aurora ultimate. Unfortunately, Toxie and Cold Soup doing far too much damage and able to take down both of them. They were not trapped in there with Dissident and Drewskii. Drewskii and Dissident were trapped in there with them. Chixxa trying to get as much damage as she can. Echo looks to be signaling for a potential gank, but Dissident going in and catching Echo, only to get chased off by Vita and Toxie at the same time. Toxie coming in with the gank to take out Chixxa, unfortunately. Thought they had the advantage with Vern all alone. The kills are starting to stack up. And Echo is not a character you want to have a lot of gold on if you're facing him. Mink once again slowing down, ghosting, and chasing down Kel. Hitting him with the full bleeds, the ult, the spin. Kel cannot catch a break in that top lane. Drewski's doing an excellent job of staying ahead in CS in the mid lane. They did get that one gank that came in. They tried to set it up with a counter gank for Dissident, but they weren't able to pull it off. Toxie is just running a little too hard right now. Mank is completely zoning Kel off of his tower, not allowing him to get XP, not allowing him to get farm. Mank gets caught up with Dissident, but they don't know that Toxie is there again, ready. He pulls in Dissident, gets him for the early kill. They're gonna dive Kel underneath the tower. Mank doing a lot of damage. Toxie using the ultimate to get the final execution, and it is just painful up in that top region. Baylor is firing on all cylinders right now. They want this win. Chixxa landing the poke, trying to get around to get the stun, but not quite able to pull it off. Looks like Mank is trying to take on Kel again. Kel is just running and letting Mank get the heals off. He's fighting him anyway. Dissident comes down into the bot lane. They're not able to pull off a successful gank just yet. Not after the first one, but they're working on it. good option from post to go for the dragon, get themselves a little bit ahead, well, a little bit of gold to catch back up. Drewskii throwing out the ultimate and nearly taking Cold Soup in the mid lane. That flash coming in clutch to save Soup's life. The double Void Grubs for Baylor, however, is going to really increase their pushing power. Mank is absolutely dominating the space in that top lane. They're denying CS. They are pushing the lane. They are fighting under the tower, away from the tower. Vita and Vern are pushing hard against Neon as she's trying to retreat back under her tower. They're really trying to lay out some damage. With Dissident coming back in again, landing the stun. Chixxa throwing out her ultimate, the ultimate from Dissident as well. Getting the stacking fire, but Vita manages to make it away, and Dissident gets caught with the counter gank in the Q from Caitlyn. The ultimate from Caitlyn landing on Neotoxin. She goes down for a double kill in the bot lane. That was really unfortunate. They chased them down. They tried to go for the kill. They managed to scrape them down to the lowest percents, but they couldn't confirm. But that gave enough time for Toxie to come in and get the counter gank. They land a Sona. They land a Sona ultimate on Chixxa, pretty much right under tower, and get another kill. The gold differential is looking painful. Toxie sitting on 1,000 gold, along with Vita and Vern. Mank dueling both Dissident and Kel in the top lane, soloing them both. He doesn't care about the tower. He doesn't care about the camps. Drewskii going with the invis, trying to get away from the Echo and Cold Soup, but it does not matter. Once you get caught in that stun, the burst damage is too much. See, this is what we were talking about in the setup, where the team is really strong in the early game between all of their picks, their burst. They have very, very strong laning potential. If Post wants to make this work, they're really going to have to kind of buckle down, try to avoid getting caught, and really catch up on the gold. Focus objectives. Toxie really doing a good job of hovering between that mid lane, or in that bot lane and the top lane. Roaming a lot, making sure that neither lane is neglected. But with Mank having so much control in the top lane, it allows Toxie to really lock down that bottom lane as well. Even when Dissident comes in to try to land a gank, it does not matter. Neotoxin using bullet time in order to clear that wave. I was confirming that I knew what that name was. Throwing out a little bit of fire as they try to clear the wards, getting a little bit more damage. Neotoxin does not have the ultimate, but Chixxa lands the stun, gets the AoE damage, and Neotoxin goes in, gets the attack, hits the love tap, getting the kill. Unfortunately, Chixxa stayed a little too long, took a little bit too much damage, and with the ward, Neon was getting caught by that Caitlyn ultimate. Baylor is executing a masterclass of how to take advantage of your champion's skill set. Drewskii trying once again to get away from Toxie and Cold Soup, but she just can't get out. Dissident coming in, trying to get the gank, lands the stun on Cold Soup, and the counter gank is in full swing. Gets the charm, hits it on Toxie. Dissident throwing the ult, but it gets countered by Toxie's ult. However, it doesn't matter. Host showing up to back up their teammates and take that dragon. What an excellent play, saving their team. Dissident chasing down Vita. Drewskii coming in to help with the save once again. Dissident trying to get that body so that way the soul so they can use their ultimate one more time, but Mank is coming down to linger by that dragon. I don't know if even with the rest of the team they have the power to take down that Darius. He has been a bully this whole game. Out comes the Ghost. Hits him with the grab even through the knockup. What an absolutely clutch pull. Mank still with the Ghost, going under tower, catching Neotoxin, landing the bleed with the ultimate. It just does so much damage. Meanwhile, Vern is rotated up to mid lane and is just sieging on their towers. Post is having a really difficult time knowing where to go right now. Kel is just using all the time he can to get caught up.
Blue team has slain the dragon.
Two camps being taken side by side. Dissident taking his Grump, and Toxie is taking Dissident's blue. Is he going to try and stop him? It looks like he tried, but was unable to actually get him. Dissident goes in, but the ultimate from Echo pulls him back. Chrono Break not able to hit and kill him. But Post coming in, and Dissident gets hit by that orb. Chixxa throwing out her fire damage. Looks like she was getting ready to try and land a stun, but wasn't able to pull it off. Toxie doing a really good job of disengaging. Vern and Vita using all their abilities to try and escape. They almost got caught, but the damage was just spread out just a little too much. Kel working hard to try and desperately just stop Mank from pushing, and he can't even fight him under his own tower. Darius is just such a strong, tanky bruiser. Leonardo Mori, hello! Host doing a very good job of trying to keep their wards very clustered in a focused set of areas, but give them enough vision into their jungle to know. Teamfight's breaking out. Drewskii doing a lot of damage to Vita right there. That Sona heal coming in to just keep them in the fight, however. They have Post on the back foot, fighting to keep their own base intact, clearing out the vision so they can't even see them in their own jungle. Baylor pinging for that Baron, and it doesn't even come up on the radar of Post. They have no vision, they have no idea where Baylor has gone. It looks like Chixxa is trying to clear her way in and get some vision in there, but she's unable to really get too deep. Neon Toxin going in to see what they're doing and catches them at the Baron, gets caught out and killed nearly instantly. Post throwing a little bit of pings and knowledge to let them know that they're taking their red. Looks like Drewskii is down near that bot lane along with Dissident, trying to get some damage on those towers. I don't think they're quite prepared to dive the Caitlyn. Missed with the sun, unfortunately. Meanwhile, their mid tower is getting sieged with the Void Grubs and with Baron. They really need to fall back and help their team, otherwise this is going to be over very quickly. Yep. That is 2 inhibitors down for Baylor. They're just roaming from top to mid to bottom. They're taking camps, they're taking minions, they're taking towers, they are taking everything Post has to offer. And then some. Dragon coming up in 1 second. It's up, but it's gonna have to be uncontested. I don't think Post has the power to even get to the dragon, much less fight for it. Having to give up all these objectives really hurts on the gold. As you can see, there is a 7,000 gold discrepancy in the top lane alone. A 3,000 between the ADCs. They caught Chixxa with that CC and locked her down. Mink is just going in. He doesn't care. He's killing them all with his ultimate, with his bleeds, with his pulls, with his autos. A full-on ace with Baron and Rift, and I believe that is the first game. Absolutely crushing that game. Baylor just coming out stomping on that gas pedal. Here's some post-game stats. Mank with just so much damage. You can really see where he was just oppressive over Kel, really just not letting Kel even play the game, let alone participate. Good sportsmanship with the GG, however. Okay. While we wait for the invite to the next game, I'm going to put us on this screen and take a moment to get a drink of water. Okay, we're going to pull down this draft, take a look at this, and get ready for game number 2, week 5, League of Legends of Post U Eagles versus Baylor University Bears. Ooh. It looks like Drewskii and Kel have swapped up their lanes. Drewskii taking on the Heimerdinger, maybe in an attempt to really push back against that really hard top lane that they were facing last game for Kel. Whereas Kel is going Orianna to try and fight up against uh, Cold Soup and their Ari. Okay, as we load into game two, let's see what sort of adjustments are made for both teams to see how they can really pull this one out. We've got the double prestige with Neon and Chixxa rocking that bot lane. They're really showing out that girl power right now, too. Oh, that's interesting. I've never seen that skin have the little fox spirit. That's adorable. So they have swapped sides now. We have Baylor in the top side red, and post, it looks like Baylor's going in for an invade. The ward caught by Chixxa, very, very good. Very well placed ward, saving not only her own life, but making sure that the enemy team knew that they were spotted, so they weren't going to come in and just get that. But it does look as though they're pushing for an invade somewhere. They want to take that blue. Once Orianna hits level 6, more sustain and good power spike, so it could shift the momentum very quickly into her favor. It very well could, yes. It looks like Vita and Vernum are setting up in the bot lane again. They're looking to try and get maybe a little bit of early poke. Looks like they tried to... Oh, Toxie dueling Dissident in that jungle. Warwick is a very strong level 1, but is he strong enough to take on the Xin Zhao? With the Scion there, most definitely, I bet. He lands the Q to follow along with the flash, just like he did with the Echo Dash last game. What an unfortunate circumstance. Kel hitting the fail flash against the wall, unable to get across. And we missed what happened down here in bot lane. Based on what I can see, it seems as though Vern managed to land a hook and get a little bit of early poke on the bot lane. But Drewskii is definitely having an easier time managing Mink because of those Heimerdinger turrets really pushing against him. He can't just free poke, take free damage. Stepping out of that queue is absolutely important. Dissident getting a late start on his jungle because of those shenanigans at level 1. Toxie, however, going and... Drewskii landing the stun, stopping the Q, getting the poke, doing a very good job of playing Heimer into the Mink that absolutely crushed top lane last time. He's letting him know, you're dealing with me now, I'm not so easy to push around. Landing the stun again with the fireball, with the rockets, with the turret, having to flash to get out of it. Mink is running for his life. Neon Toxin really throwing out those double ups to try and get some damage poked out. It's a little tricky. Good job dodging the hook, though. There's so much action going on in every lane. Camera's just jumping around in every direction. Kel is on the back foot with Ice Cold Soup right now. Doing a very good job of keeping themselves alive. Oh, I forgot to bring these up. There we go. My mistake. Even though he is keeping Mink on the back foot, Drewskii is having a hard time keeping up with him in CS. He's doing a very good job of managing, and the hook lands over that wave throughout the trap, managing to flash over the trap and not get quite so easily caught. Poking out some damage on the Thresh, not getting a whole lot on Caitlyn. Saving their lives with that flash, however. Very well played by Neon Toxin. Going from 1 kill can very easily spiral into 2 if you're not too careful. Chixxa getting caught with a flay by Vita. They threw out the ignite. Managing to get out alive, however, and it looks as though Dissident is coming in for an early gank. Unsure. Oh, gets the dash on the Caitlyn, hits the cube. Oh, but Toxie is there once again with that counter jungle. Lands the root, gets some poke. Good job. And now the top lane has evened out their CS. Heimer pushing ahead and keeping Mink really suffering under the pressure of those towers. Anyone who's ever played against a Heimerdinger knows it is very difficult to manage a good Heimerdinger. Oop, my mistake again. Kel is having a much better game this time, managing to do well to CS through the pressure of Ahri, not, getting caught out quite so early for the early kills. And even Dissident is doing a very good job coming back from that level 1 mishap. A couple hundred gold behind the Warwick, but, doing a very good job keeping up with CS. We have a near identical bot lane going on right now. With a little bit more gold, it looks going to post. Mink, however, is ahead in gold and CS once again, now that they've both had to back. Drewskii landing a lot more pressure, trying to avoid those Qs. Mink having to really adjust to using that Q and letting go before the grenade hits him. He learned after that first time, but now he's hit level 6. He knows what's going on. Drewskii was expecting that and nearly walked into it anyway. We got a lot of bush play going on right now. Warwick taking the early Void Grubs. Having to flash out of that Q. Got the 2 turrets, lands the grenade. Drops the super turret. Is he going to take Mink out? He is going to take Mink. Can he take out Toxie before? No, unfortunately. The reborn Mink comes back and saves Toxie. Once again, the bot lane over for Baylor is ready for Dissident to come in at any moment. They have a lot of ward coverage. They put a pink up by the backside of the red for post. They have a ward in their try and in the dragon pit, doing an excellent job of giving good coverage. If you look here, you can see they have good vision over here. They can see anyone coming down through the river, and they can see anyone coming from the upper side over here, which is excellent. Oh, looks like there's a fight going on at the dragon. And Post takes the early dragon. Same as last game. Let's see if it can work out a little better for them this time. That is starting to, however, catch up Dissident to Toxie when it comes to the gold after that level 1. Toxie, however, doing a very good job of roaming, getting an early kill, taking out the Void Grubs. Drewskii really on point with those rockets this game, making sure that he pushes as hard as he can back against that Scion. Throws the grenade and misses, but he does get the rockets. Sets all of the turrets to just start wailing on him. Not quite enough to do a lot of damage, but it did force him not to do as much to him. Vita throwing a pink ward down in the tri-bush to, you know, keep the vision coverage going. Losing the one on the back of the red.
Are you smaller than before?
Post now doing an excellent job. As you can see, they see the Warwick coming up through the river. They have the Scuttle Crab giving them vision here. They have a vision here. Excellent work making sure that they're playing a lot more defensively this game. Not nearly as many kills as there were in the moments before. Lands the rocket with 3. Oh my goodness, he hits him, but the Warwick comes in with the infinite duress, lands on him. The turret's still going crazy, but not nearly enough damage to take out Toxie. What an absolutely great play by both Drewskii and Toxie. Mank setting up that gank with, like, sacrificing himself as well, which Scions are known to do. Dissident trying to get a little bit more pressure on by doing some damage to the enemy jungle, but he gets caught by the enemy team. Cold Soup taking a lot of damage. Kel, bullet time coming out with the Orianna ultimate, trying to set them up, but the team's not fast enough. Unfortunately, Kel had to back out of that fight and left Dissident all alone. Chixxa and Neon came in just a little too late. That was nearly a perfectly executed combination of bullet time and command shockwave. I think that's what it's called. Hey, look at me. Mank is now trying to proxy farm against Drewskii, hoping that will give him a little bit of pressure, but Dissident's coming in to try and stop that right in its tracks. Lands the grenade, gets the turret, gets the hit. He starts channeling a Q with really nowhere to go. It looks like Mank is trying to run away and can't manage to do it. He popped his Ghost Blade and still wasn't able to run fast enough. Not sure where he was going to try to go, though. He has a tower there. Drewskii doing an excellent job of fighting back against what appeared to be the strongest player of last game. Neon is really struggling to get as much CS as Burnham right now. Mid lane looks to be about a 900 gold differential. Jungle is about 1,000. And even despite the deaths and the really well played efforts from Drewskii, Mink is ahead in his lane. He's starting to get that power spike. Sion's getting pretty tanky.
Remember what we practiced.
That Liandry's Torment is really going to be the bane of the tanky people on that team, though. Especially with the Heimer turrets.
Lost in the dance.
Drewskii is taking a lot of damage now that Sion has started to really ramp up a little bit in power. Dissident does not appear to have spotted. Goes in on the Caitlyn, lands that perfect dash, and that bullet time really came in clutch. Managing to get the double kill in bot lane, avoiding the Sion ultimate and the Q, landing the grenade. Look at this play by Post, really turning it around, and they're saying, you think that this is over? This is far from over. Even Kel doing a very good job of keeping up with the CS in the mid lane and not falling too far behind. Post taking their second dragon of the game, even with the attempted steal by iCold Soup, the command shockwave coming out missing just by an inch. Post giving a little bit of a celebratory back, all as a team after taking out that double kill and the dragon in the bot lane. They're executing very, very good plays right now. Thresh, Vita making sure to clear a bunch of the vision that allows Post to run the way that they have been. Warwick coming in with an infinite duress to try and land something on Drewskii. Drewski's getting low on mana. Can he get away? Menk throwing out the Ghost Blade once again, but those turrets are really poking him down with that Liandry's. Drewskii still has enough mana to make a play, and Dissident is right there. They were waiting for the Warwick to leave so they could go in on the Sion, but they didn't manage to get it going. Oh, they land the root. Chixxa got caught in a trap and threw a root on Caitlyn for her trouble. Forced her to back off so she didn't get caught out too deep. It did put out a lot of damage on Chixxa with that automatic crit, however. Headshot is no joke when it comes to Caitlyn. Landing another root on Vita, really trying to make sure that they're keeping them from pushing hard. Drewskii signaling to the rest of his team that Mink is MIA. We are seeing a lot of makeup and comeback of the gold that has been the differential in this game. Mink is still climbing, but Drewski's doing a very good job of not falling too far behind. And even after the rough start, Dissident is coming in. Mink getting really poked down by that Liandry's. One stun is all it takes, and those turrets go nuts. They have vision. Toxie going in on Neon Toxin. Good ultimate from Chixxa trying to save their teammate, but it does not matter. Gets caught in the Thresh ultimate and unable to really make the save. There's just so much CC and so much damage going on. Dissident was close, but not close enough to make the save. Baylor is once again really throwing out their vision, making sure that they can see everything. They've been ganked twice down there, and they said enough is enough.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
I believe we just saw first turret go down in favor of Baylor. Once more, just landing those rockets. Chixxa roaming around, making sure that they can clear out all the vision of the enemy team. On the sides here, you can see the wards or the vision score, and it looks like Post is doing a very good job of keeping themselves relatively ahead as far as vision goes. Oh, we have a Rift Herald dropped in the bot lane, charging against that tower. Oh no, Scion charged through in the infinite duress from Poxy, going in on Heimerdinger. Heimer's all alone up there, getting caught down by the two bulky bad boys. They did not get a lot of mileage out of that Rift Herald, but it was able to put a dent in the tower, which is always useful. However, if they want to keep Drewskii doing as well as he is... Oh! Kel with the flash to avoid the infinite duress. Dissident stepping away from the Thresh Hook. An awkwardly thrown bullet time, but doing a little bit of damage nonetheless to Cold Soup. We have a sneaky dragon going on right now. The enemy team is trying to take it. Clearing out the vision. Dissident is pinging for their team to come and help. Forcing them back as much as possible, but now we have Neon Toxin and Chixxa making their way down to the dragon fight. Toxie and Vita is separated from the rest of their team. Who's gonna get this? The command shockwave coming in, and oh my goodness, the 1 HP and a dream from Dragon. But Dissident gets the shutdown gold on Toxie, also going in on Vita, nearly getting the kill, hits the dash for the double kill, putting out the power on Mank. Mank comes in and cleans up Kel, while Vern takes out Dissident and Neotoxin. Drewskii was a little late to that fight in comparison to Mank, but he does not have the pushing power to get down there. And the fire taking out Mank, almost taking out Vern as well. That was an excellent fight. Just a hair away from getting their third dragon? Yeah, a hair away from getting their third dragon of the game. Post is really trying to buckle down and take this one. Both teams were at dangerous levels of health at this point. Landing the root on Vita, not really going to get much off of it, but, you know, throwing out the poke and saying, hey, I see you, I can catch you, never hurts. Post pinging for a little bit of help to deal with Mink up there in the top lane. Drewskii now dueling it out with Cold Soup once again, this time, however, with different starts, different character. Ooh, Chixxa coming in to try and land the root, but Cold Soup dashing through it, managing to get out, forcing Chixxa to miss that ultimate as well. Even when they get charmed, the command shockwave just an inch off from catching that Thresh and pulling him back into the tower shots. That 3-man gank was really good and really well attempted, but Ahri, with so much movement speed with the dashes, it's just so difficult to lock down. Warwick is coming in, lands the infinite duress under tower, but Kel manages to get out from that Thresh hook. Toxie really dueling with her. And gets caught for their trouble.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Dissident sitting in lane, lands the charge on Vita, gets the kill but gets caught out because of it. Taken down by Mank and Vern.
Rampage.
Hearts beat together.
Drewskii gets caught by the charm, and now the infinite duress coming in again by Toxie. Throwing out, oh, he's got the Rhyolite Crystal Scepter, lands the rockets, lands the grenade, but it's not going to be enough, and the healing of Toxie is just way too strong. Cold Soup was not the main focus of the attention of the damage, so they're going to make it out as well. Mank really running for their lives, using their ultimate, catching the smite for their trouble, but they did get out alive as well. Baylor is being very, very elusive today when it comes to getting caught out and killed. Kel and Neon pushing back against Vern in the mid lane, but the tower gets destroyed anyway. Dissident threw out the charge. Taking out the vision on the other side of that wall as they set up for Dragon. Mank is the only one not there, and he is almost dead. But he is taking a tower.
Has been destroyed.
Toxie chasing down Neon Toxin, forcing a flash. Warwick is just way too quick. Dissident going in and seeing if he can duel against Toxie. I don't know if that's going to work. But with Drewskii there, it would definitely be a lot easier. Oh no, the Thresh Lantern comes in and saves his life. The fire burning away, but it's not going to be enough. Dissident going in, chasing down. He wants it bad. Cold Soup is hit with the dash, forced the flash once again, pulled into the Thresh cage. Vern lands a long-range Q to take out Chixxa. Dissident then takes out Toxie, only to get snagged by Vernum in turn. That is a 3-player swing going on over there. Drewskii running for his life, getting caught in the Scion ultimate, then the Q, then the punch, then the kick, then the axe, and he goes down as well. The very low health Baylor starting to pick up their pace once again, taking another dragon from under the nose of Post, just barely living through that team fight. Mink has really just expanded his lead in CS right now. Coming back from that really rough early game and managing to pull it back together. Sitting with a 2,000 gold difference. bot lane sitting with a nearly 4,000.
Smaller than before.
Oh, Baylor's going for the Baron. Post noticed them, but are they going to be able to go in? They don't have Drewskii there to put out a lot of damage. Dissident hasn't gone in. Ahri can come in with a good shockwave and get a bullet time. Knocked up, thrown out the bullet time. The Baron is still alive. Kel taking out. Oh my goodness, the fight is gone. It's going out. Neon Toxin getting several kills, and Kel getting a triple kill, taking out the full team, wiping out that Baron as quickly as possible, leaving Drewskii to very easily push all by his lonesome. What an absolutely great retort from Post. They are not willing to go down without a fight, catching 2 bounties on towers, closing that gap by another 2,000 gold. They're only at a 5,000 gold differential total now. Vita standing in wait on the other side of that wall, thinking he was going to go for a hook, I bet. 2 traps sitting in the raptor pit. Toxin gets caught in the Caitlyn trap, giving them a little bit of vision on which direction they're all going, but they are setting up for Dragon. They desperately want to make sure that they get this 3rd Dragon. Dissident throws out the charge, or the stab, and lands it on Ahri, but Ahri lands the charm and prevents him from charging in. Toxie and Mank just pushing inhibitors. They don't care about other objectives, they just want to win right now. Vern and Vita taking the mid tower and going for the mid inhibitor. This Dragon may not be worth it. Drewskii getting a little bit of poke on Mink in the meantime. That was definitely a rough one. Losing 2 inhibitors while trying to set up for Dragon. Oh no, Neon Toxin leading the charge into that pit gets instant grabbed and killed. Mink gets taken out by Dissident. Dissident sitting in the middle of the pit, dueling. Kel is not able to really do much to help out, but she's trying. She gets caught, hit with the Caitlyn ultimate, ace in the hole. Has to run for her life, but Toxie is Warwick and can run very fast. Drewskii was not there ready for that fight, and Neon going in first was absolutely difficult for them. Nice charm from Cold Soup. Catching a little bit of damage on Neon Toxin, not able to really push because of the tower, but every little bit of damage counts. Because that is more damage you don't have to do later. However, Misfortune does do quite a bit of damage, and she heals off of it now, so... Dissident gets spotted by that ward. He looks like he's about to head down. They're pinging for it. They're calling for it on Cold Soup. But they have so much ward coverage. Baylor can completely see into that bottom jungle pretty much all around. Very good vision. Chixxa is doing an excellent job with vision. It is incredible how far ahead they are from Vita when it comes to their vision score. It just seems like it's not working out in her favor because she's just like losing her wards so frequently, and like I said before, Baylor is just keeping their eyes on the entire jungle. That dash. Bullet time coming out to do a little bit more damage to Caitlyn, but Vita manages to save the Caitlyn using their ultimate, but getting caught themselves in the process, and they are dead, giving Dissident another kill. Uh-oh, Mink is behind them, beating on their inhibitor, or their Nexus turrets. And Host was completely unaware, coming in very late to stop him. And now he's charging unstoppable through, getting past the turrets and out to safety. There is no more defense on that Nexus. Host is going to have to be very careful about stepping out of their base right now. They cannot allow Baylor behind them. Vern trying to go in and keep anyone from coming up on their Baron this time. Last time was a massive cluster that caused the death of their team, forcing Neon on the retreat as she gets poked down. It looks like Baylor's going to take this Baron free of charge, but there isn't much that Host can do about it, especially when it comes to Mink still just hard pushing on their turrets. He doesn't care about anything. Baylor sieging down that mid lane, pushing to the inhib with that Baron buff. Trying to clear out that ward so that we don't have much vision in that jungle. Always a good strategy. Soup pushing down that mid lane, trying really hard to keep up the pressure as they set up for their fourth potential dragon. Fourth Earth Dragon, even better, where they would just be so tanky. Toxie's taking a lot of poke, but the team is there, and unfortunately, with Dissident and Chixxa, they are alone. They only have the two of them. Oh no, Chixxa ran up and got caught by the Thresh Hook, leaving Xin Zhao to get caught by the Warwick and take out their team again. They had such a good like rallying comeback and it's starting to falter away. Drewskii trying to poke down Vern and keep them from shoving. The inhibitor is down. I think the Baron buff should be running out soon, but their Nexus is exposed and the whole team is there. Bullet time coming out from Neon Toxin and Vern manages to net out of it to safety, but Drewskii takes them out anyway, and unfortunately the Nexus is gone. The game is over and that goes to Baylor with 2 wins and 0 losses in this set. What a roller coaster of a match. Take a look at these post-game stats. Once again, you know, like I said, Drewskii was doing a very good job of putting out that damage, holding down their lane, keeping things together. Verm also really putting out that damage. The gold differentials were really starting to stack up near the end, but it didn't happen until the end. And even still, Post put up a very good fight. They fought up at Baron, they fought down at the Dragon. Very well played from Post. I think that they should walk away from this, even though they lost with their heads held high. They played a very, very good game. And thank you guys so much for joining.